Hi, I'm Tricia Battle, and welcome to my presentation. We are getting ready to discuss some data overview of Hannon Magnet Academy. The purpose of this presentation is intended for school leadership and school leadership team and school administration. The purpose of this data overview is to provide a concise summary of the student achievement results for fourth grade students over a 3-year period in the content area of reading at Hannon Magnet Academy. As part of this data overview, I will closely examine the 2020 school year, 2021, and 2022 scores of the fourth grade students' STAR Reading Assessment, and I will highlight strengths as well as weaknesses and emphasize one or two key areas in which academic improvement is needed most. In addition, I will use pie charts, bar charts, and line graphs to visually display the data trends. In this presentation, we will look at school demographics of teachers and students, fourth grade STAR Reading Assessment scores that are on a scale from 0 to 1400. We will also look at how this data can help improve student achievement in reading. Here are some questions to drive our analysis. What exactly do we want to find out from analyzing our reading assessment data? What are we doing well and not so well? We'll discuss that in strengths and weaknesses. Do we have intervention plans in place that will help? And what are our next steps? All right, here we go. Let's get started analyzing some data. Hannon Magnet Academy Elementary. Let's talk about a little of our history and a little bit about our school. Hannon was named after Lady Lydia Haywood Hannon, which is why we're called Hannon Elementary. Our school was established in 1990, and we are located in Columbus, Georgia. The school serves grades K through 5, and Hannon has its own AU wing, which is an autism wing, where they serve autistic students as well. Hannon is a Title I school, which basically is derived from the number of students that receive free lunch, and all of our students receive free lunch at Hannon. We are located in Muskogee County School District, and Hannon has a magnet program and a traditional program for every grade level. And what that looks like is the magnet program, students have to test in to the magnet program, and they don't necessarily live in our within that school zone to come to our school. Now, the traditional kids are kids that live in the school zone, and they can test into the magnet program as well, but many of those students are on much lower levels, reading levels, maybe a little bit low in math, so they are in our traditional program. All right, here you have my pie chart that we're going to talk about personnel by gender. Um, This pie chart identifies it talks about the male teachers that are in Hannon. And like most schools, there's always more female teachers than there are male teachers. And I feel like this has a great impact on how students' growth rate progress. So maybe for like the behavior issues, I would love to see more male teachers in the school. And even though our female students has outnumbered our male students from an enrollment perspective, um, many of our male um, teachers can play major positive roles in our students as well. All right, here we go. School demographics, ethnicity, and race. This is a comparison from teachers to students. Hannon has about 39 teachers, and here's our demographics. As you can see, um, white teachers outrank black teachers in the school. There are no Asian teachers. There are no Hispanic teachers. And there's no multi-race teachers at Hannon. And look at the school years from 2020, 2021, 2022. And just the opposite for students. Hannon has about 500 students, and the majority of the students in the school are black students. Then next will be white, then maybe 1% Asian, multi multiracial students, and Hispanic students following in next. So looking at those demographics, the school for students is majority black, but the school for teachers are majority white. All right, here's your sub-enrollment. Since Hannon is not big on diversity, I just did a comparison with ELL students, economically disadvantaged students, and students with disabilities. And you can see why we are a Title I school looking at the red. And then next, why we have our we don't have many ELL students in our school, but this is based on schools around us in our comparison and how that looked for same years 2020, 2021, and 2022. Hannon student enrollment data. Hannon has about 500 students enrolled for this year. Last year is about 454, and that was kind of due to COVID. And then the year before that, 489. So we're averaging about 500 students. Hannon Magnet student gender enrollment. Every year at Hannon, we kind of tend to have more female students than we do male students, and that's kind of been a norm for the past 3 years. And I kind of think this has a little bit to do with how does this affect our school academically. Female students, sometimes I'm not going to say all the time, but a lot of times you have more female students, maybe a little bit more mature than the male students. And so when we're prepping for tests such as this STAR reading test or GMAS, you get more, more growth. All right, our school improvement goals said 100% teachers will have consistently implemented effective Tier 1 instruction in ELA and math through data-driven decisions as evident through progress monitoring with at least 85% effectiveness. Part of this STAR reading assessment was part of our progress monitoring. It helped to drive instruction and to build reading comprehension levels. All right, so what is a STAR reading test? Our STAR reading enterprise is an assessment of reading comprehension and skills of independent readers through grade 12. So this STAR reading assessment can be given through grade 12. STAR reading enterprise tracks development in 5 domains: word knowledge and skills, comprehension strategies and construction meaning, analyzing literary text, understanding author's craft, and analyzing argument and evaluating text. These are all part of our standards that we cover throughout the year of teaching our students. So this STAR reading enterprise is a structured tool to help our students prepare for the GMAS. All right, here we go. Here's our data for our STAR. As you can see, through the years 2020, 2021, 2022, I analyzed beginning, developing, proficient, and distinguished reading levels. And each year where you see the beginning, this is where students come in and they are on a lower reading level. In that grade level, which is expected. And so where you can see each year at the end for distinguished, each year they have shown growth. So the weakness of them coming in at the beginning of the year and the strength of them exiting at the end of the year showing major growth. All right, areas of strength and weaknesses, just like I just said, students coming in with weakness in the next grade level on lower reading levels. And the strength for that would be students showing progress on these reading comprehension assessments and consistent growth every year is a strength. What are our next steps? As a faculty, we have made tremendous gains toward closing the achievement gaps in reading. Our next task is closing the achievement gap in ELA, math, social studies, and science. And how can we use these skills we have developed and apply them to make science and social studies content accessible to our students? This reading assessment is one that can be used in those areas as well to provide growth. Thank you so much for tuning in to my data overview presentation. We were assessing star reading data for fourth grade at Hannon Magnet Academy.